There's no sports league unlike it anywhere in the world, where cartoons and football come together. This is the United States Cartoon Football League, celebrating its 40th anniversary.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. They're the modern Stone Age family. From the town of Bedrock, they're a page right out of history. Let's ride with the family down the street, through the courtesy of Fred and Pete. When you're with the Flintstones, have a yabba-dabba-doo time, a dabba-doo time. We'll have a gay old time. Meet George Jetson. His boy Elroy. Daughter Judy. Jane, his wife.
Greetings, cartoon and football fans, and especially fans of classic Hanna-Barbera. This is Bob Mozark of the USCFL Network. In our continuing series of episode runoffs, we are pitting two of Hanna-Barbera's most beloved and memorable franchises. The Flintstones and the Jetsons are in a 12-week contest. We now know when the Masters of the Universe Revelations remaining 5 episodes will air. We will continue the runoff for that series starting the weekend of November 27th. As always, football scoring will be used. We are choosing the episodes randomly as they are in our library of shows in alphabetical order. However, the information we provide on screen will be shown in order of appearance. As we begin round 8, the Flintstones' lead continues to get bigger, and they now have a 12-point lead over the Jetsons with a score of 51-39. After a brief pause, we will begin round 8 of the Flintstones versus the Jetsons episode runoff.
Well, she's all you'd ever want. She's the kind I'd like to flaunt and take to dinner. Well, she always knows her place. She's got style, she's got grace. She's a winner. She's a lady. Whoa, 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 she's a lady. Talking about that little lady. And the lady is mine. But she's never in the way. Always something nice to say. What a blessing. I could leave her on her own, knowing she's okay alone and there's no messing. She's a lady.
The Flintstones, Season 4, Episode 12, Daddy's Little Beauty. This was the 100th episode of The Flintstones. This compares with The Jetsons, which was originally canceled after the first season, only to be rebooted 12 years later. As the episode begins, Fred invites Barney to go with him as he takes Pebbles for a walk. Barney agrees but says that they will have to be back home by 5 p.m. because he's doing something with Betty. On their walk, Fred maneuvers Barney into buying hot dogs from a roadside stand, and they then walk off and leave Pebbles behind until the vendor calls them back and Pebbles scolds them in her cute baby speak. They next stop in at a photo studio and take some pictures of Pebbles. It's getting late, so they take a bus back home. While en route, Barney hears the passenger sitting with him talking about entering his baby in a contest and convinces Fred to enter Pebbles in the contest. After the pair and Pebbles get off the bus, we find out that the contest is for young women, not babies. Wilma tells Fred that she doesn't want Pebbles to be in a beauty pageant because she doesn't want Pebbles to develop the wrong type of personality. Fred nonetheless decides to go ahead with his plan, telling Wilma that he and Barney are going bowling that night. Wilma and Betty wrongly suspect that the men are having affairs and insist that they take Pebbles with them, to Fred's delight. Fred and Barney convince the pageant host that there is nothing in the contest rules that specifies an age limit for the contestants. Pebbles goes ahead with the evening gown and swimsuit portions of the contest. Meanwhile, Wilma and Betty are watching TV and see the contest. Their wives quickly go downtown, not even letting a flat tire delay them. Pebbles is given a special award as Miss Beauty of the Future by the judges, and Wilma is mollified that Pebbles didn't let the contest go to her head. That night, when Pebbles is in her crib, she pulls the crown out from under her pillow and happily puts it on her head. The Jetsons, Season 3, Episode 5, Father-Daughter Dance. This is chronologically the 70th episode of The Jetsons. As the episode starts, Judy's nemesis, Marcia Van Marsdale, is reminding their classmates that she won the father-daughter dance last year, and also reminds them about how badly George Jetson danced. Judy tries to get out of attending the dance by faking an illness, but the robot doctor remembers having treated Judy the year before for all the bruises on her legs and feet and is not fooled. Jane Jetson tells Judy that her father has been taking dancing lessons to become a better dancer. At the dance studio, we see that George really hasn't improved that much. However, he has skipped out of work for the dance classes so much that he is behind in his duties. He tries to rush through the work but overloads the machines, causing them to break down. Mr. Spacely then appears and tells George that he must work night and day until he is caught up with his work, because Spacely Sprocket is releasing a new sprocket which has a built-in guidance system. Fred tells Judy that he has arranged for her 110-year-old great-grandfather, Montague Jetson, to stand in for him. Judy is surprised to find out that Montague is a spry and accomplished dancer. Before the last dance, Marcia Van Marsdale calls George and falsely tells him that Judy is losing the contest. So George sneaks away from work even though he has become entangled in the new sprocket. The device makes George an accomplished dancer himself, and Judy wins the contest. We will now briefly pause before returning with the scores and wrap up.
Lady, I'm your knight in shining armor, and I love you. You have made me what I am, and I am yours. My love, there's so many ways I want to say I love you. Let me hold you in my arms forevermore. You have gone and made me such a fool.
Wrap up. Daddy's Little Beauty is a Pebble-centric episode, and she is very cute. I give this episode a 7. Father-Daughter Dance features Judy and Montague more than George, but he appears at the end to save the day. I also give this episode a 7. So for this week, the two programs are tied. This was the Montague's third and final appearance in the series. As always, viewers are welcome to submit their own reviews and scores. This is Bob Mozart from the US CFL Network, signing off until next week.